YouTube? It's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and you just missed a really awkward staring contest between me and camera guy Kurt while we were trying to figure out when I was going to start. And I didn't know it was time to start. He's just kind of like waiting for me to start. And anyway, you had to be there, and I guess you missed it by about 2 seconds. But it's clutch update day, and this is clutch number 13. And again, I'm sitting down because these are all the way at the bottom. But I won't stay sitting down this whole video, I promise. And the first one to show off is 18-1301. And this is a little visual ghost. I say little visual ghost. I really mean it. That's a little visual ghost. That is a teeny tiny baby. And now if you remember that clutch cutting, this was the first snake to crawl out of the egg. And this was a snake that was in that egg that was a full boob egg. Like it was half boob. And what I mean by that is, you know, those, they call them boob eggs. I didn't name them, so don't get on to me for that. But that's kind of what they look like. And part of the egg actually is not as calcified, and it kind of looks, you know, well, you can see it. And I'm not going to go into a full description because that would get awkward. And I don't like to be too awkward. But the part that is calcified is not viable. So very little of this egg, maybe half of it, was actually viable to hold an animal. But it candled. When I hatched the egg, or when the egg was laid, I candled it, and it candled with veins. So when in doubt, incubate it out. So in the incubator it went. And about 57 days later, this was the first egg to pip, and the first egg to crawl out of the egg, or the first snake to crawl out of the egg. So needless to say, this little guy here is kind of a champion, man. He's a badass. So I really like him. He is kind of one of my little favorites from that clutch. I will be partying with him anyway, and it looks like he's about to start his second shed cycle, I believe. But he is gaining weight. He is eating on his own. He has been a rock star from the word go. It is proof that, you know, don't give up on an egg, right? Don't give up on an egg because it may still bring you good things. I know. You were thinking about popping me one. And it's also the first visual ghost we ever hatched, right? So it was a whole bunch of firsts. And that brings us to 8-1302. And you'll see how much bigger this one is. Like, this dwarfs the other one. And what this is this is a lesser 100% het ghost. So the pairing was a spider het ghost. Actually, het for true ghost. So I should back up and say all these babies are 50% het exanthic as well. Because they all are. But we don't know which ones are, which ones aren't. Any are, any aren't. But I do know the dad is 100% het exanthic. So the dad was a spider, het for ghost, and het for exanthic that I personally produced. That's how I know he is a double het for sure. And the mother was a really cool looking ghost lesser female. So that is the pairing. So this is a really nice looking lesser. Almost looks like it has other gene floating in there, but it doesn't. It is simply het ghost, possible het exanthic. But the colors on it are absolutely gorgeous, and she is doing really good. I did say she, and she is a she, who is wanting to probably bite me. So here we go with the hand over the back, whoop, and just kind of curl them up. And you can, she's not even wanting to ball up too much, but you can kind of keep working her, and you can kind of get them to ball up and work with you some, maybe. There you go. Now we have a true ball python, right? So put her back in there. She's like, why are you messing with me? Then we'll go to 8-1303. This is a male. It looks very similar to what you just saw, right? And again, that is a lesser 100% het for ghost. It is not a lesser ghost. You're probably thinking, man, that looks really good. I would agree, but I promise you it's not a lesser ghost. And I'll show you why here in a few. But another lesser 100% het ghost, possible het exanthic. This one, however, happens to be a little male. Really cool looking snake. Put that one back. And now I'm going to show you a snake that I really like these. These things I think are really cool. They have several different names. You'll hear them called ghost spiders, you know, spider ghost obviously. And you'll also hear them called honeybees. That's because the color on them does look a lot like kind of the color of honey. I think a little bit lighter. These are exceptionally light and exceptionally nice honeybees. And again, they're 50% chance het for exanthic. So really cool, really reduced pattern. I mean, look at that on the tail. Beautiful. You can see the white sides and you can really see the color. When you put that next to a normal spider, which I just happen to have one around here somewhere. Where is a normal spider?
Middle on the left.
Say middle on the left?
Down.
That's not going to be a normal spider. There's one. Oh, you meant middle section, not middle of the tubs. This is a normal spider, so you can really see what that ghost is doing in there and how those came out looking just phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. You're probably thinking, are you sure there ain't lesser in there too? I'm pretty sure there's not lesser in there, and again, you will see why here in a few minutes. Let me put this one back. And put 81304 or 181304 back. And that one is a male. We had two of those, both males. You will see both of them. Now this is a lesser ghost. And that thing is just completely off the hook. And for comparison to one of the lesser het ghosts, you'll really see the difference there. But it's just amazing looking. So that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful snake. I love mine that I kept, that I picked up, that we use for a breeder. We're going to be breeding again. We'll probably be trying this exact clutch again because I would love to make some more of these. And we're also working towards true ghosts. So we have a holdback we're raising up as well. That thing is just beautiful. Kurt, what do you think of this one?
It's really nice. I really think it turned out good.
See, Kurt's really into the ghost stuff. That's one we both agree on. And there's a whole story of how Kurt got into ghost. Because Kurt wanted a, what was it you wanted?
Black pastel.
A black pastel, that's right. And what did I bring you home?
A ghost.
And what did I bring me home?
Black pastel.
Yeah, it sounds like I was being an ass, but I swear I wasn't. It was the way it worked out. And one day we'll share that story of how I went to his show. It was before we were technically business partners. He was just getting into it. And he'd given me money and said, hey, if you find a black pastel, buy it. And I called him and said, hey, I can't find a black pastel. There's a really cool ghost. He's like, yeah, get me the ghost. Then I came up with a black pastel. So I'll share that story with you guys one time. And Kurt, you'll back me up. Was I being an ass?
No.
Oh, okay. Did you hear what he says when he's on the camera? Oh, I gotta get a little more room here. Oh, sorry about moving your table. Okay. This one is the other, what they call honeybee. And I honestly think it's cooler than the first one. They're both really nice. I mean, they're exceptional examples of what you're looking for. But on this one, that head is just perfect. And then on top of that, you've got just the colors in it. It is just a wild looking snake. And again, you know, you're not seeing it do anything weird. It's being a normal spider, normal snake, moving really well. It's fine. So all of that, oh, it's going to do this because it's a spider. Most of them don't. I'm telling you. Most of your spiders are not corkscrew, wobbly, weird things. If they were, why would anybody make them? A lot of us make them because we don't see that in them all the time. And you can see this one reacts really well. Does everything fine. You know, it's about as perfect can get. Oh, you're going to want to crawl? Maybe? It's like, what are you doing? Here, get in there. All right. And that leaves me with one more snake to show you. 81307. Now that one's over here, and you know what that means. If it's over here, chances are, in this case it's true, it is going to be a holdback. And wait till you see this. This is what I believe, because you've seen lesser pastels, or not lesser pastels, sorry. You've seen the spiders with ghost, and you've seen lesser with ghost. This is what I think is a really feisty little ghost, lesser, spider. I think all three genes are in there. Of course, as it gets a little bit bigger, we'll figure out more and definitely figure out on the ghost because it could just be a really nice lesser pastel. Here is kind of a comparison for you. Or not lesser pastel. I said that, but what I really meant was lesser spider, obviously. Let me give you a comparison that you can kind of judge it by. This is an older snake, okay? But this is a lesser spider pastel. So this is a queen bee. And you can really see how light they are in comparison. And of course the ghost is going to look like it's washed over, which I think is why that one's so light. Oh, I didn't mean to move fast and scare you. And you, little one, need to knock that off because you about launched your ass off the table. And you can also see how much cleaner the pattern is going to be, which I think is an object of the ghost. So I do think all three genes are in there. I just do. We'll see as it ages, and we'll definitely know for sure, but we're keeping that one back. I will be a little bit disappointed if it ends up being just a lesser bee, to be a lesser spider. But I don't think it is, because if it was, it would not be nearly as light as that queen bee. And this actually looks lighter than the queen bee, or just as light as the queen bee when we hatched it out. And if you look at that head on it, that head kind of has that ghosty look from the honeybees I showed you. So Kurt, what do you think of this snake here?
This is my favorite from the clutch.
Favorite from the clutch. He is so he's so excited. Kurt, get some excitement. What do you think of the snake here?
It's my favorite from the clutch.
Yeah, it's awesome. See, that was excitement. That's what we were looking for. All right, guys, that's all I got to show you on this clutch. Of course, there is something really cool about this clutch that we're going to be doing on Patreon. And one of these snakes will actually be given away on our Patreon. And why is that? Because the last honeybee I showed you, we're actually selling that snake for charity. So one of our members already stepped up and purchased it. And so it's going to be given away on Patreon to one of our Patreon members because it was a Patreon member that purchased it. So that's what we'll be doing the charity giveaway. So somebody's getting that snake for free to them, and the purchase price being fully donated by another member, and then we're going to go ahead and donate the cost of the shipping. So it'll be shipped to their door for free. They had to be a Patreon member. They had to be a Patreon member who paid once. Some of you right now are probably kicking yourself saying, man, why wasn't I there? Sorry, got to get there. I know we don't do a lot of giveaways here on Olympus. Everybody's like, oh, you should do giveaways. Giveaways are great. Who doesn't like free stuff? But, you know, like, we got to kind of sell some things to keep this place running, is what it is. YouTube doesn't pay a lot. However, with Patreon, when it gets to a certain level, but you can go there and look for yourself what level it is, we write it down, so it's not hidden. We will start doing giveaways there on a fairly routine basis. Let me put this little firecracker up, and then we are going to move on, and we'll catch you guys all later. I'm going to keep filming in case I get bit. Not going to happen. Sucker. But who got bit last, Kurt? Was it me or you?
Me.
That's right. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week.